Good morning, everyone. Hey, welcome to Flying with Mike. We are hoping you enjoy today's flight. We are sitting in Africa. We have kind of let this tour we've been on kind of get pushed back by a lot of great things that's gone on, but we need to get back in gear. We're halfway through it, believe it or not. You can go back and look through for the flights. But we are on what is called, hang on. Oh, Lord have mercy. I just had it in front of me. The African Union Airbus Tour Part 2. Do. So I hope you enjoy it. We are sitting in, and forgive me for the mispronunciation, please. Yaoundé, Cameroon. Yaoundé, Cameroon. Foxtrot Kilo. Oh, excuse me. Foxtrot. Okay, where did my voice go? Excuse man. Foxtrot Kilo Yankee Sierra. And we're headed over to Nsimalen, Chad. That's Foxtrot Tango Tango or Juliet. So hey, grab a plane. We'd love for you to join. We got plenty of room on this ramp and blue skies. So hope you all grab a plane and fly along with us. We're hoping this to be the first of two flights today. As you can tell in the title on Twitch here, you know the second flight to Phoenix. But for those on YouTube, spoiler alert, just given. But we're in the Toliss A320NEO. Also, an aircraft that's been kind of pushed back a little bit for others that have joined the hangar. So I hope you really do enjoy this. We got about 600-ish miles to cover, so we got a nice flight up to Chad. And like I said, this is part two. There's actually three parts to this. We've obviously already done the first one, halfway through the second one, and we'll be doing the third. It's kind of fun flying down here in what's called affectionately as the Dark Continent. One, unfortunately, lack of controllers. Not a lot of people wander down here. And if they do, it's South Africa, Egypt, up in the northern or southern part. A few will fly around the Horn, out of Lagos and all of that. But for the most part, it's a continent that doesn't see a lot of action. And so I thought, what the heck? Let's give it some notoriety at least. So again, welcome aboard. I am Captain Mike, flying with Mike, and I hope you enjoy. We're in the final process of getting the aircraft ready before we let those passengers down the gangway, and I would be remiss if we didn't talk about the basics that Elevatech gives us for the flight. It's not as in-depth as SimToolkit, but SimToolkit, while yes, has a fix for the plugin, so it won't crash you to desktop with the new SDK requirements that came out with 4.0 in X-Plane 12. But he has yet to come along and update the whole project, so we've kind of shelved it until that happens. Much more detailed information comes out of that program on your landings, better graphical representation, all of that. But you can only work, hey, they got lives too, so we can't sit here and bellyache too much because we don't know what's going on. And so I wish he would, but I wish him well so that he can. All right, Elevatech's up, and you can see the route from down here near the Atlantic. deep into Africa, the dark continent, up here to Chad. And I think I'm getting it right. Nadijamin? Nadijamin? No? I'm really trying, folks. And like I said, these are some hard, they get hard to pronounce when you get out of your home country. And yes, a lot of talk coming out of this. While we're kind of in the northern part, well, of the affected area, a lot of news is coming out of here. Why? What is it? Next week? Um, FIFA, is that right? FIFA, soccer, big World Cup over on the other side of our state in Kansas City. Not to be confused with St. Louis, as St. Louisans seem to get confused about that. Yeah, a lot of talk that how that's going to look with the outbreak going on in Chad. Is it Chad? I don't think Chad's part of it, but definitely down in Cameroon and um, Congo and all of that. So Ebola, if you haven't heard, nasty stuff, nasty, very, um, very easy to pass along. So uh, doing their best to keep it where it is and then be able to contain and then at least get us through this bout. It's been a while since we've heard of Ebola in the news. So, all right, so here we go. Basic information for the flight to know today. It's an hour and 37 minutes from down in Cameroon up to Chad. 550 miles. So like I said, right around the 600-mile mark. 35 on the cost index at flight level 370. You see our weights, our payloads. Take those with a grain of salt with Toliss. Because we have that load manager and they get pretty close, but not right on target. Same with the fuel. 10,891 is what dispatch blocked us with, but I think we're running 11,200. So we'll find out here in a moment. Now, we can pull the METAR. Let's do, well, you can, why pull it? It's already there. It's right here. Yaoundé International Airport is showing currently. Now, I am running real world time and weather, unlike many of our flights where we change that, especially over in Europe and further west. So what you see should be reflective on the ground. And, a little different 10 minutes later. Or 14 minutes later. At 1400 Z, the winds are 210 at 5, variable from 160 to 250. So we may have a runway change. 8,000 meters on the visibility, and it's a broken sky at 2,000. Wow. So, few towering cumulus clouds starting at 2,300 feet and so forth. So, yikes. Is it going to get any better for us? We have a corrected METAR variable for same thing. However, we are VFR at Nsimalen. So building cumulus clouds for thunderstorms. So we'll see how things evolve as we go. So there you have it. Now, alternate for today. What was that? We don't have an alternate, so that's kind of wild. Why did we not get an alternate? Okay. Interesting. It's the Chad or bust. So, all right. So let's get all of this cleared up and let's get in the airplane and see what kind of damage we can do here in Africa. All right, now I saw that we dropped a little here. All right, so we'll get the altimeter updated. All right, real quick, let's do our preliminary checks. Then we'll get to the FMS and get our butts on the runway and get out of here. All right, so preliminarily, first I want to just look down here. Okay, spoilers are not armed. They're down. You would see them armed. Let me show you. See that white band? That would tell you. Okay, so we're not armed. Flaps are up. And we can confirm the flaps. Believe it or not, where my cursor is, that is the flap indication. Yikes. Sometimes, you know, you have to say yikes with Airbus. But it's a pretty safe airplane. Throttles move. I always like checking that door, cockpit doors unlocked and parking brake set. We'll talk about the radios momentarily. We'll get to them. Up top now. Got the captain purser switch up. Here we go for the CVR check. Cruise supply on. No, not air supply, folks. Cruise supply. Lights are set. The smoking lights on. No smoking lights on, by the way. Armed, and real quick, we can do that to show all the lights. Okay. And then we can set them. If we were night flight, we might be wanting to do that. Fuel pumps are off, and y'all love hearing the bells and whistles. You know what? Let me crank it up. And I will give a little nod to the A330, 300, 900. I believe it's just one test button, tests them all. Kind of like that. And then for those real diehards, the cargo smoke detectors down in the cargo holds. All right, let's go ahead. Get our nav data going. All right, let's get down here. I do not think we have coordinates. Let me double check. That's what I get for double checking. We did. All right, which gate are we in? Hang on. Let's first set this about right there. Hang on, let me get the other one set in case we need it up here so it's not blocked in any way. There we go. There we go. Let's get back out the plane. We'll just come back here, pan out and down. What is it? I can't read it. Oh, I got it. I'm backwards. Echo 2. Got it. All right. Echo 2. Got it. Oh, and I got the hiccups again. Dang it. All right. Stand by. Let me, there we go. All right. Just getting a third chat window opened up so I can try to catch y'all when you talk to me. Definitely have the volume up. There we go. And okay, click here. We got till the 10th of June before the next update. Init request. In order for that init request to work, you need to set it up in the Toliss interactive menu under the Actually, I think you can do it now. Well, you need to do it under the plugin at first, in case you haven't set it up for the plugin to be on your EFB. But then go into add-ons and follow the directions in the manual, because there are 3 questions that you, the pilot, need to answer. Not flying with Mike for you, you. And then save it, and you'll be able to do that. All right, we're going to go init request. I'm sorry, IRS init. And for E2, we need 0342.9. 342.9 north. Over on the longitude side, we need 1132.9. 1132.9. 1132.9. 342.9. Perfect. Then we'll align it, confirm it, clear, clear, and clear. All right, so no company route, no alternate, so we don't have an alternate route. We'll go. We're fine. Cost index, we said 35, did we not? Yes, 46. Let's get it a little closer to what we planned. And we'll do a wind update. Clear. Oh. All right, and everything else looks good. All right, we're going to go to the next page, which is a little early. Head over here, and let's look at our weight and balance currently. 176 people, 11,200 pounds. Okay, like I said, take the numbers out of SimBrief, grain of salt for a little bit, put your numbers in here. Your zero fuel weight, you rarely will nail. There's just too many little differences to make it, especially with the NEO and the newly released conventional engine option. It really gets weird. So at least for this guy, hopefully not so much. Hey, Captain Bombasso, welcome, welcome, welcome. Got a spot on the ramp for you if you want to fly in Africa. It's actually kind of fun down here. I kind of like it. All right, we won't have alternates. Okay, so 136.5. Yeah, that's close enough. 10.9, we'll change that to 11.2. And no, we have not fired up the Apu yet. Oh, and our zero fuel weight CG, which is the second half of this line, does not match. So put a diagonal and then type 2 9.4. And that will only affect here. All right. Everything else looks good. Let's go to the flight plan, and now the fun. All right. Like I said, we may have a runway change. Let me come out and check. Yeah, there's a good chance. We have now a southerly wind, which means the dastardly long taxi. It's a back taxi. Hang on, let me look. The order of 11,000 feet. You know what? It's only a 5-knot tailwind component. I know if we could get the ATIS, they'd tell us, you got to go the other way. Come on. That's exactly what the ATIS would say, by the way. Yeah, I will go ahead, be nice, do the back taxi. Let's switch runways, see what happens. Of course. All right, so let me show you what I'm doing here. Hang on. Because you know what? It's getting a lot. All right, so first we check the METAR. All you got to do is click on here, and it's already telling me now I have 5 knots over the nose, 2 knot crosswind off the first officer side. Okay, and we're going to be probably doing the same thing up north too. Now, we switched by just clicking the arrows here to 19. So now we'll go to departures, and what this will show are our departures now for 19, not runway 1. And it's in essence the same thing, just labeled differently. It was Delta, I believe, originally. Yeah, ORD01D. This one we're reading is 01Q. And basically all it's saying is it's going to take us off, fly a little route to ODROL right up here. Okay, so what that means over on the FMS McDo, we click departure 19, and we now look for that ODR Oscar Delta Romeo 0. Is that a 0? I think that's an Oscar 1. Yeah, that's an Oscar. And the Oscar goes. Yeah, that's an Oscar. Okay. Anyway, we just click on it. There will be no transitions because a lot of what happens in the Eastern Hemisphere, they build the star to what we in the U.S. would be a transition, where you have one SID and a gazillion transitions there. Each transition becomes a SID or star. It's kind of interesting, but it can get kind of tough. Then you get the super busy airports, and then there's an intermediate before your actual approach plate. Oh, excuse me, I did not mean that. Ugh. All right, and then all we click is insert. That was pretty tough, wasn't it? All right, now, while you all still look at that chart, I am just going to cycle myself through here real quick, looking for discontinuities, which there'll be one at the end. And it's already teasing us to a runway change. And I don't know how they can do that, but they can, nonetheless. Notice one thing. Say intentions is not out here. So if you're flying on say intentions, you paid for it, you don't get to fly Africa much. And hold on, before I go too far from that, I do not know how well X-Plane 12's ATC will work out here. I'm hoping really good. One day I might do one of these flights on it, just to find out. All right, so let's clear. And let's get up to the destination. So currently, as you can see, we're almost gonna hit a perfect, almost straight in approach for our runway. Almost. All right, so let's click it. Same thing, except we're gonna click arrival. Now, currently, I am going to look at Let's look at this RNAV. RNIP. Ooh. trying to debate, do I do the ILS or do I do the... No, let's look at the Yankee. Okay, Zulu. No. All right, so it's definitely the X-ray. Pretty much flown off the same... Yeah, Ryland. Or we can go direct Millar. You know what? Since there may be a total, let's just... Whoa. Why can't that come off Ryland? Well, that's funny. It shows initial approaches, Linop and Ryland, and they don't pull up in the menu. Huh. Okay, let me try something. Aha, there they are. I want to do the RNAV. Okay. There we go. All right, so the arrival will be the POT 1 mic to potted, followed by us grabbing the RNAV off of Ryland. All right, so over here, we're going to look for the RNAV. Then we're going to look for our star. One mic, correct? Yes. And our transition. Uh-oh. Now is our transition not showing up? Oh, FKYS. So we're going to grab the RNAV runway 5 off Reelin, which we'll get from POT 1 mic. All right. Insert that. Bear with me a second while I check up on it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where are we going? Oh, so this actually dumps us on Milra. Well, doggone it. Let's, oh, well, I'm dumb. Clear. TJ. Okay, I'm glad I did that. I did not know that about this approach. All right, let's insert, see what happens. Okay, so we're coming off potted. Hang on. TJ05. Milra. JFT. Oh, that's our runway. Okay, then our missed approach. Okay, now it all makes sense. It makes sense, believe it or not. Okay, and we're going out to lineup, right? And then we'll come in again. Okay. All right, so that gets the flight plan in there. RNAV or RADNAV looks good. Perf page. We're about ready to wrap this and go. Perf page. Let's go over to the predictor. All right, we're on runway 19 now. 202 at 1. If that's all it ended up being, I'm gonna be upset. Okay. I doubt it, but we're gonna put it at 5. Okay, outside is 31 degrees, 2994. And Navigraph allows you, oh, 299, what? 1. And by the way, this, from what I understand, is for those of you, and you all out there that use it, please enlighten me if it's true or not. For the VR users, I don't use it. I look at VR like AI. It's not needed. Okay, runways dry, air conditioning on. Compute looks good to me. Actually, we're 2,100 feet up, so that's why. You know what? Let's try flaps 2. Much better. Okay, so flaps 2 flex looks really good. So as long as our V1 is somewhere between 112 and 130, well, as long as if it's 136, our supposed use of runway will be 8,480 feet. Don't hold your breath on that one, folks. Same as if it's at minimum 112, 4,600. Somewhere right in here is probably where we'd lift off. However, I am going to set it to like 134, 35, something like that. All right, so there's our numbers up 03. Transition. Let me check that out real quick. It's probably right, 5,800 feet. Okay. All right, so what we'll do is do an uplink and fix the numbers. Uh, 1013, we got a wind 20, oh, correction, 210. Numbers will be slightly different. Okay, and then I put the flaps number in just so we see how close we get. Request. And anytime now we should get received. There it is. And click. All right, know this. These are the numbers for Toga. If you want maximum power, you would have set Toga over here. However, we're flexing, so do the flex. Now we have a flex of 55. Notice it's a little different. Winds are different. 8 degree difference. 138, 138, 140 again accounts for the change. However, we're going to still stick to 135. Coming right on down. Everything else looks good. And guess what that means, folks? Let's try it. What the heck? 10. Enter. Compute. Still off by a degree, and numbers still about the same. So you can see it's still a little feisty. All right, let's get up here and finish this out and get this plane loading people. First off, here's the same panel that's right here. We're going to fire up the EPU. Captain, it does need you to hit start first. All right, we are beginning to board the passengers. I'm going to finish this up here real quick. APU bleed set, cross bleeds, ground temperature. Okay, we can come off external power at this time. Now, there's a reason I like what I'm doing. This all can be done from the radios, your mechanical and attendant buttons. All right, there's a caveat. When you click them, watch the call right here under nav. Goes out. Okay, first off, since I've done it, let's what that did is you're not gonna see when you click your push to talk. Saw that look in the up, well, you may not because of the you'll see COM1 on XPilot light up. I'm sorry, on your X-plane screen, upper left-hand corner. If that call light isn't on, you may not see it, and you may broadcast static. So, when you hear that from a controller, go check that, make sure it's turned on. All right, I think, let's see. Last step, get these fuel pumps up and running. And we're ready to get up and running ourselves. Let me check one thing. And it appears our flight is in progress today, unlike Thursday. That's okay. Like I say, I enjoy the flying, and if I get to log it with a virtual airline, there's a big plus. If I don't, you know, hey, sometimes it's a good thing it didn't get logged. That would have been a good one, though. That was a really good landing in the Citation 10. So, all right, if you're new to the channel, before we get ready to push back here, if you're new to the channel on Twitch, hit follow. If you're watching us and you're new and haven't done so, love for you to rate us, thumbs up, and if you like it, and also subscribe so you know when we put new content out. Twitch, when you follow, it just lets you know, hey, Flying with Mike is going live. All right, so let's do it, shall we? Okay, engine fire checks were done, radio checks, and we've got our radar, our McDo's programmed, and now get the center, and we're ready to push. Okay, in the center, we want to do LS, in case we have to come back in constraints, LS constraints. Our speed, okay, first off, VOR, set your range for what you want and duplicate first on the first officer side. Okay, speed and heading, so long as this dot and those three dotted lines are there, means you're under, it'll be under the control. When you go autopilot, it automatically follows whatever the nav system is set for. By the way, let's set that one to F plan. All right, now altitude. Let me look at our departure real quick. Sometimes it'll give you a top altitude. This one does not. And I'd have showed it to you if it was there. So we're going to 370. Now, for the approach, since we're doing the RNIP, we'll turn off the LS for it. Let the aircraft do it. But we'll deal with that in 500 miles. All right, let's... I say we're ready to go fly. Push back. And we are doing 19. Yep. Start pushback.
Run to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Anywhere but runway 19. Yeah, I know. It was my choice. I know.
Run to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Okay, we'll go over here and pull the chocks. Oh, why don't we close
Some
the door?
doors are still opened or the GPU or the ASU are still connected. I'm waiting for all of them closed and disconnected, then I will proceed.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Interesting sidebar note here. Many airports, the pushback will hook up with even external power on. So, little ambiguous, but hey, it's fun. What the heck? And I know this because
Now connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
they did hook up. Okay, here we go.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Very simple. Click. You know what? Let's do it this way. Still looks like they have some work to do with the sky conditions. Okay, we're about to get the available on 2 2, engine 2. Okay, let's get on number 1.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Standby.
All right, and we'll wait for it to become available before we do anything else.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal of the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Thank you for the pushback. Those new to X-Plane, that is a free utility, better pushback. Now, there is a pushback tug in X-Plane. However, as most default are limited. This can take you wherever you need it to push you. Okay, there's our pins. And we are available. Okay, put you back in mode. All right, APU bleed off. Again, ground spoilers now to the armed. There's the white ribbon. Flaps to 2. Oh, I think we were exponder. No, we weren't. Okay. The pitch trim. All right, this is a little fun. I like it this way. Wait a minute, we're going down. No, we're going up. Wait, we went the wrong way, didn't we? There we go, up 3. Okay, the reason I say that, I like seeing it. The MD-11 has that. Boeing, you gotta watch that tape. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're still more than likely gonna adjust on takeoff. But it's nice that you're in a ballpark. Again, like I said, you're going to adjust irregardless. All right, let's get that cleared up and let's do a quick look at our flight controls. And I know I get the question every now and then, why do I do so many checks of the same control surface? Mainly because it was an old Logitech thing and Saitek. I'm sorry, old Saitek thing. Now Logitech has Saitek, but these were bought while it was still Saitek. This last one I just do to make sure none of my coffee or stuff is in the way. All right, but you should do a flight check. If you only do one time on each surface, because it really sucks when you go down the runway, you pull back and nothing happens. Or you go for the rudder and nothing happens. Better to catch it now than trying to get off the ground. Or worse, you do get off the ground and no control. It has happened. Okay, APU can now go off. Lapse times running, flight controls checked, auto brakes max, terrain radar will get on the runway. We're taxiing. Cabin, let's do a takeoff config check. All looks good. The big thing you're going to be watching for on engines is the temperatures, and that's what it will catch. Okay. Cabin crew, take your places for departure. Okay. Bear with me a second here. Yaoundé, common traffic, Air France 2572, back taxi 19. And we will check here, but I'm pretty sure even if there were thunderstorms, there's a good chance they may not show. We'll see, though. Cabin door locked. Here we go. Now, we're going to keep the strobes off, although it would be prudent to have them on as an additional light aid. So if someone isn't coming in, talking on the radio, or they know how to pronounce this place and just, yeah, that's not my airport, they'd actually see the flashing lights as well. But I'm going to keep it in the auto mode, so when we go airborne they turn on. And give you all a nice look behind us. Kinda don't like it with the mask, but I know many of you think that's pretty cool. That's fine. You know, it's one of those, you know, to each their own kind of thing. All right, we should be at the end of the runway here soon. As soon as we flip around, we'll kick the chrono manometer on, and head on down the runway and on up to Chad. And Denjama, Jenna. Okay, what's this down here? Apron Pupa. Oh, pretty cool. Kind of looks like another terminal. Maybe cargo. Could definitely see heavies needing this big turnaround, but clear for takeoff. And Yaoundé traffic, Air France 2572 departing 19. Okay, going to flex. Runway and SRS armed, and here we go, or active. Okay, there's 80 knots. Airspeeds are looking good. 100, the hands coming off the throttle, and here we go. Passing V1. Rotate. Gear up. And we'll go ahead, kick in the autopilot. Make it look pretty. Alright, gears up, ground spoilers. We'll disarm here momentarily. Yeah, let's go ahead. Okay. And with the nose gear up, we can turn the nose light off and the turn off lights. Yaoundé traffic, Air France 2572, clear of your area. Okay, flaps coming up. Yep, still some work needing to be done, but I mean, it's better than what we had before, and looks really good. But yeah, there's some things they do need to work on with the clouds. They still have that, for lack of better wording, spaceship look to them. We all love to say, look at the Klingon, or the Klingon, blah, Cylon base stations all over the place, or other different sci-fi, you know, shows, spaceships, and they're still kind of there. So, but other than that, I mean, this is great. Now, let's be honest here first. What do they say? Transparent. We are in 4.2 for a reason. I got kind of tired of all the crash to desktops they were intentionally causing to rid plugins of certain types. And I just got fed up with it, and I'm not doing the betas right now. There were better ways to have handled that than what actions they took. Now, that's my talk. It's their company. They have a phenomenal product. Probably some of the best flight dynamics out there. But I did not like that treatment. And that's why I will not be testing the betas much. It's just, I'm not a fan of crash to desktops, folks, for no reason and no explanation. And that was the other problem coming out. They would not give a reason for it, even though they knew it was because of the plugins. And that kind of got under my skin really bad. And the community forum is a great place, but it's also a horrible place. And I hesitate when I put stuff and ask questions of what will come out. So to those that explain, I think you're doing a fabulous job. I just think you need to be more conscious of us consumers paying your paychecks. You know, if we don't buy the product, you don't get paid. So anyway, so that's why we're on 4.2. Now 4.3, whenever it goes final release, then it will update here, and then we'll be, you know, seeing what all they've done. Maybe to the weather. Most of it was VR associated, and like I said, to me VR is like AI, and I stay the heck away from it. So even though I know AI, the Terminators, are coming and going to overtake us soon, I stay away from it. By the way, a side note to the AI thing, how many of you watched and caught it in the news? There was a quick news story. Oh, no, it wasn't quick, but it didn't last long. That every commencement speech where the writer said they're part of AI, they got booed. They got booed. Now, I personally would have liked to see lettuce and tomatoes flown at them like they did in days way bygone. But, yeah, people are not happy with AI, and rightly so. It's horrible, and shame on those that definitely take the actors and actresses, some with their permission, many without, and use their likenesses and don't have to pay for it because it's AI. So shame on you. So anyway, that's my that was one thing that I found funny over the last couple of weeks when they were doing commencements. As soon as the person said they were a part of AI, oh, the crowd let loose. Dive? Why am I wanting to dive? Welcome in, Pratt PT6. Why? I am on a nice climb out. Everything is going well. But hey, welcome in. Hope you had a great week. All right, so off we go into the wild blue yonder. I will be kind of curious to see if we end up with a dusk landing up in Chad. All right, speaking of which, let's see. I talked about why a lot of people, again, there are absolutely, there's one controller in Africa. And where I think it is? Oh no, maybe I have been there. Way down at Fox Alpha Kilo November approach. That is it down in South Africa. Other than that, you know, I don't know. I know why a lot don't. They want to be with controllers. They want to be talking, chatting, all that good stuff. But I actually enjoy the weather, it's just kind of interesting that once you get about 10 to no more than 50 miles inland, you're pretty much high altitude through most of this continent. And you're nearly a mile, well, take Johannesburg, that's a mile up, folks. It's really cool. Same with Nigeria. Gosh, you know, I have fun. I always enjoy flying down here. I just always seem to, you know, people want other things, so I wander off that way. And this tour is kind of fun because it takes you from coast to coast and works you up, works you down from the middle, around the middle a lot. And there are some wicked thunderstorms down here. When they do show, and we got caught in a couple of them, and boy, they were wicked on X-Plane. So I highly recommend grab a plane, hit the air. FKYS, is that the name of that airport? I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot of airports you could fly in if you wanted to meet us up there. It is, I enjoy flying Africa. And here's the thing, those of you terrified of VATSIM, well, there's rarely VATSIM controllers down here, so you don't have to worry about them. Because I know of a couple that don't like VATSIM, but you don't run into many of them down here. Matter of fact, this last cross the pond, I don't think they went to Africa this time. I could be wrong. I know last year they did. But I don't think this year's had them in Africa. And the sad thing is now across the pond, you have to wait till next April. Used to be you just wait till October. So, and don't get me wrong. To those that set it up, I get it. It is literally that 6-month time frame. There's a lot going on. To be able to put 3,000 people onto VATSIM, be it controller, be it pilot, and all the other people. Some things that came out of it I didn't like. I'm not going to voice my opinion. Again, they really won't want to hear it. Yeah, it was, we kind of got a flavor of it on Flying with Mike. And we're going to leave it there. But it was, I was kind of like, really? So, anyway. All right, well, I am going to kick back, let you all relax. It is the weekend. It's time to chill, recuperate the bones, and be ready for the work week coming up. And hope you all enjoy. So, and what a pretty good week. We only, you know, most of us in the U.S. work 4 days. I know there's a lot of jobs out there that unfortunately they don't take Memorial Day off. But it was a really good week, So I hope yours was just as good or even better. So, all right, well, enjoy the flight. We're sitting here watching the chat rooms, and hope you all enjoy the flight. All right, we're passing 34,000 feet right now, on to 37,000. All right, looks like we got about an hour to go, so enjoy the flight. Just honing in on that. Let's get to top of climb here. we're back with you, folks. Glad to have you aboard. Great crowd today, flying with Mike in Africa, flying the Airbus Union African Tour Part 2, basically from Cameroon up to Chad. Hope you enjoy. We got the A320NEO from Toliss in the air. So, had a great departure out of Yaoundé and headed into Nsimalen, Mena. Can you guys make it a little easier on me? But I hope you enjoy. Hey, great day of streaming and flying today here on Twitch. So I hope y'all enjoy. Questions, comments? I had to step away there briefly, but we're back and monitoring. So any questions, comments, let me know. Hey, if you're watching us on YouTube, put those questions in the comments section. We really do try to answer them all. So if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. So we're sitting at about 45 minutes or so from our arrival point, and I hope you enjoy. Got a great flight coming up here on Twitch, so look for it. You can see it in the title there, Los Angeles to Phoenix. So hope you are good to go for that. And there's some pretty high country out here. Now, many may wonder why I chose Air Frog for this flight. Air Frog, sorry. Something I picked up along the way, Air France. They do a lot of work here. Now, granted, one of the airports, and I think it's Nadina, they actually fly out of there back to Paris. I'm not so certain about Yaoundé, so that is why the choice was made. I thought I'd look. We've got a, oops, meant to click that. An A340 600 coming down from Germany for Johannesburg in South Africa. Not close, and I don't even know if we'll be close enough. But anyway, that was worth a, give a try here with the traffic abilities of the software we use for cameras. A better camera. Interesting. All right, sorry for the quietness there. I was working, trying to improve the map, and I can't find. Well, maybe I did, just didn't know it. Yeah, I can't figure it out. Anyway, I was just looking for a better overall map than what we're shown here. But that said, you can see the traffic. We got Lufthansa headed into Lagos, one up in an aircraft preparing for departure in Nigeria. And actually, is that a DB? And this is the one we were talking about. The one kind of disappointment out here is there's a thunderstorm showing up on VAT radar that we're gonna pass by, but we're not, as of yet, seeing it on radar. Now that's an 80-mile look, actually 40 miles ahead. Let's try 80 just to see. So anyway, some of the, things that have kind of given me pause, but still overall like X-Plane. The weather is taking quite a while for it to get right. And not sure why it doesn't show up well here. All right, we spoke about this in pre-flight. Today, we're going to go ahead and bring charts in. We're going to take a look while we're still 109 miles out of top of descent. And let's get charts in here. Now, I have switched to the VFR map. We have two over there now? Oh. Huh. All right, so you can see where we're coming in. Let me turn the weather on here and see. Yeah, we get an idea. Yeah, by potted, we should be some rain. We'll see. But let's take a look here. Potted is where we start down. Well, let me rephrase that. We'll probably be already in our descent. It is only 53 miles. We need to be at or above 4,000 feet at TJ 005. Then Milera at 3,000 or higher, and 230 is our maximum speeds. More than likely, again, it says maximum. It does not say at. Very big difference. At means just that. Some pilots like to do their own thing, as in many things out in the US right now. Could be worldwide, but the maximum you can fly is 230 at both places. Now, MILRA, you will be slowing. We'll explain here in a second. Real quick, the importance. Transition level by ATC, I hate that. I wish they'd put it on the chart. And altitude is HEPA. Okay, RNIP, runway 5, still what we're planning. So we're going to come over MILRA at 3,000 or higher, descending to 3,000 by J5501, and then onto our runway on a 3% descent glide path. RNIP, we should get the glide slope. However, I told you, we got to do some things on the MCP, the middle control panel. We're going to come straight for MILRA and shoot the approach. Today, I am going to bet 700 feet a minute, roughly, is what will descend to meet the arrival. And I know some of you are going, come on, show the numbers. All right, so here's your frequencies. It's an RNAV, so there is no localizer. 045's final approach. And 3,000 is our mandatory altitude by TJ501. It's an LNAV, VNAV decision height. We'll get down below. This airport sits almost 970 feet above sea level. So it's kind of in a well. There's a lot of high terrain around us. Not really showing up, which is odd because much of interior Africa is pretty high altitude. It's pretty cool. We actually found an area that wasn't. Missed approach, straight ahead, 502, turn back for lineup, and then shoot the approach again. All right, minimums. We're coming in, I believe we're B, 1250 or 282 feet. Our minimum will be 300, so it'll be broken BKN or OVC 003 on the METAR. Anything above that, we're good. Below that, we're not. We're also looking at 1,100 meters required. Okay, and currently the weather variable at 7,000. I think we got that beat. Scattered, which is not a ceiling, 4,000 or better. Upon landing, we will park. Actually, let's pull up that chart. We don't. Oh, it's here. Okay. All right, so we'll come off somewhere in the middle here and head for, let's plan like 5 or 6. All right, let's get back and see where we are in the arrival. All right, folks, sorry for all that coughing. Holy mackerel. Let's go to our landing performance charts. This is as of 1500 Zulu. And the latest we have over here, 1500 is an hour and 2 minutes old. Variable at 5. Well, let's at least put the 5 in. Temperature up here 42 degrees centigrade. 1006 is equivalent to 2971. It's dry. I don't think we need anti-ice. Now, if we were in the Fahrenheit countries, yeah, we just might. Let's see, brakes. Let's go medium. Compute midfield, that looks good. All right, so let's clear off this. Let me see here. Let's give it about 30 seconds and we'll go through it again so that we can make sure those Twitch folks seeing commercials will see it. YouTube, you all are just fine and dandy. All right, welcome back, Twitch. Hey, real quick, we just went through setting up. We got a speed of 5 variable, so we'll leave it at north. 42 for the temperature we filled in, medium for the brakes, and this is where we'll end up on the runway, about midfield. So let's head over to the McDo, finish it up. QNH we said was 1006. Now, you could put it in the inches of mercury style. If you did, you would do 29.71. So you would have to use the dot right here. Okay. Temperature, we said 42. Now, don't be surprised if we get a change here. Winds, we're going to go with 000 diagonal 5. Transition. Oh, I'm showing 3,000. When in doubt, type it out. All right, for the decision height, let's go 1260, just one layer up. Okay, and that all looks good. So we're gonna have an approach speed of 135, landing 130. All right. It's an hour and 6 minutes old. Top of descent is showing up. Hang on a second, I'm going to dial down. We should be seeing thunderstorms. Right over here, we're not. So, again, this is one of those. I really do miss, you know, real world weather truly being real world weather. But the flight dynamics will outdo it, so I'm okay. I just wish if you were going, as you say you will be, to the eye candy side of the house. What can I say? Now, let's just do a quick look at the map. And it's not showing here either. I'm real disappointed in this map, so. But yeah, there's no precip of any kind showing, and if it doesn't show here, guarantee you it, on my system at least, it will not show up here. All right. We are now 20 miles out. Let's set 3,000. Down we go. We're approximately 10 minutes out. So last chance, put a prediction in, exclamation mark. Predict space and a negative number. Welcome aboard Flying with Mike. Service from Cameroon to Chad over in Africa. All right, folks, I'm back with you. Just wanted to check in with my wife who just got in from her second job and see how the day is going. All right, we are proceeding in. Potter is right ahead of us. And still no signs of this shower, I tell you. Oh well, we get this a lot. I'm kind of used to it, so. All right. Hopefully you have your predictions in for the approach. We are well within 10 minutes of landing, and we'll take a short break here on Twitch to regroup for the next flight. And there. Give you a flavor of what's coming. And we'll take a short break to get things reset, put over there, and hopefully up and going pretty quick. But we got to first get into Dajinamana. So up here in Chad. And let me see real quick. That this map doesn't really do justice. Which one did? One of them did. Not really. Which one was it? Anyway, what I was trying to show is just how close to the border with Cameroon this N'Djamena is. And I don't know which map it was. Oh well, I can't find it. Man. Oh. Okay, we've entered the star. We have 50 miles now to TJ005. Yeah, that storm, if it was there, would be behind the wing right now. Or rain, whatever it really is, but oh well. So we will proceed inbound.
Attention all aircraft. QNH 1010.
Do what? Now that I've never had while connected. Am I actually connected? Well, I'll be doggone. That usually is when I'm not connected to VATSIM. And I am showing connected. I like it. Thank you for telling me the altimeter, even though I got to get down around 5,000 feet to start with. But that was cool. All right, we are about 20 miles, 25 miles from TJ05, 005, and let me take a look here at the current ATIS 140. Okay, 05. Yeah, we're good. It's close, about a 90-degree cross with only 4 knots, so we're fine. Yeah, we'll be fine with that tailwind. Actually, is it a tailwind? Yeah, no tailwind, so just a 4-knot crosswind. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed the flight. We started off in Cameroon at Yaoundé, and we're headed to Nsimalen, and should be on the ground here shortly. All right, let's get our LS turned off. We are doing the RNAV, correct? Yes, RNAV 05. Okay. All right, let's all right, here we go. And we've slowed to 250. And then once we cross TJ 005, we'll slow under 230 the rest of the way into Milana, and then make the turn. Okay, we said medium for the brakes. Again, if you want to put a prediction in, exclamation mark the word predict, space, and a negative number. Unfortunately, those of you on YouTube, that's not a viable option. You do need to be with us live on Twitch for that to work. Okay, and so far it's been an hour and a half since we pushed back. And I believe our airport might be right up there. Could be. I'm just speculating quite a ways out. Okay, looking at the approach plate, we may have, oh, the Chad Cameroon border is right there. And there's a river running right between them and the runway. So that literally could be where we're headed, because there's what I think is a river. I don't see any signs of a lake. Okay, we're on the RNIP so-called what they call F-lock. Yeah, I got a feeling up in that brown territory there is our runway. Let's go flaps 1. Arm up our spoilers. Oh, I got a runway in sight. I don't know if you see it or not, but it's right here. Flaps 2. All right, the gentleman, area traffic, Air France, 2572, 6-mile final, runway 5. All right, we are on target. We're going to take over. Thousand feet AGL and winds. We're looking good. Little off. No, actually, I think we're right on target. Whoa, we're drifting now. It's weird. We should be drifting the other way. And traffic, we're 3-mile final, Air France 2572.
Above. 200. 100. Minimum. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
All right, we have the APU up and running. Let's just make sure we didn't miss anything. Lights, spoilers, engine mode normal, flaps are up, APU's up and running. Terrain radar and radar are off. Brake temperatures. We'll go ahead, activate the fans. And anti-ice and APU bleed on. And we can kill the engines now. There you have it. Welcome to Chad. All right, not a bad flight. We had a blast. Let's first off get chocks. I'm going to see if it brings out the air stare. There it comes. Okay, let's take a look at the numbers here and take a break here on Twitch for a few minutes. All right, got the weather turned off. Gives you an idea where we're at here. Looks like spot 6, so you can see you turn around and you sit. Oh, it doesn't open the bulk door. Huh, interesting. All right, I did not know that. Let's try this. There we go. All right, so the bulk door is now open. All right. Real quick recap here. We had a great flight, as you all saw. The landing, I think, was a little harder than anticipated. We'll find out here in a second. Looks like the PIREP was filed. Yeah, they got us at 471 feet a minute. There we go. All right. No, I was trying to figure out why is it still there? Okay. So let's bring Elevatech in because that's the closest we'll get to any Iowa Scotsman. Welcome aboard. Elevatech. Bring up our flight. All right, we flew out of Yaoundé. Again, here we go. My apologies for the butcher of the name of your city in Cameroon. Up here to Chad. All of this is Cameroon. there's where I saw it. And right here's our landing. According to Elevatech, 417 at 136 knots, 1.5 Gs. So not overly bad. But, you know, for not flying the bus for quite a while, not bad. Wish we could have had some of the weather that was showing, but, you know, it is what it is. If it doesn't show on the map, good chance it's not going to show on X-plane. All right, runway 5, a little off the center line. And let's see, 1,500, probably about 1,700 feet down the runway. And like I said, we're probably 10, 20 feet off the center. So could be a little better than that, but hey, we're on the ground, we're safe. Now the civilian, this is a joint use airport in Chad. The civilian side here, here's their military aircraft here. So, but anyway, we had a great flight. It was fun. Folks on Twitch, stand by. We are going to basically look like we're heading out. And we are for the YouTube gathering here. But we're going to be back. Give us about 5 minutes, maybe 10, to kind of reset the stage. Because we're going to, instead of being in Africa like we are right now, and yes, I know there's a phenomenal song, but we'd get hit copyright so many times over for the violation, and rightly so. Toto did a great job with that song. Oh, I'm not talking about that other group. Toto is the one that did Africa. Sorry. And I hope you enjoyed this flight. We're going to reset gears in Twitch to be out in Los Angeles. YouTube, you'll get to see it too. Don't worry, just be a little down the road. But thank you so much for flying with us today. We've had a phenomenal day. Thank you, Pratt PT6, for chiming in, Iowa Scotsman, and all of you that have come in and come out during the whole stream. This is part of the African Union tour within Millennium Aviation. If you're looking for a great virtual airline to join, really check them out over at MACAIR. They been with them for quite a while, and just a great bunch. We fly their destinations of the month. We fly this tour. We haven't really dabbled. We did one other one, the Alaskan tours, but we might dabble some more because that really does help in generating some flights for us. So, but I hope you enjoyed. Got a link for you in Twitch there, MACAIRvirtual.com, MACAIRvirtual.com. And yes, if you knew or watched on YouTube Captain Mac, this is the airline in which he and a bunch of others formed for our enjoyment. And boy, did they make a good VA. Very easy going, easy to take, rules, just easy to fly. So check us out, MACAIRvirtual.com, MACAIRvirtual.com. All right, that's going to be it, folks. Thank you for joining. Twitch, like I said, give us 5-10 minutes to regroup, and we'll be back up out of Los Angeles. So it's been a great flight. Enjoyed. We'll see you in Los Angeles.